Hello fighters, and it's time to playtest the overdress start decks, starting with a match between Dragon Empire and Dark States. Stand up, the Vanguard, Sunrise Egg, Diablos, Innocence Mat. Draw. Dark States discards a card from their hand to ride into their grade 1 from the right deck. And when Bad Steve is placed on VC, a card from the soul can be called to the center back rearguard circle, followed by Soul Charge 1. Turn end. Now Dragon Empire will discard their draw trigger as well to ride into grade 1 Blaze Maiden Reno from the right deck. With Sunrise Egg skill, 1 draw. And now Reno will attack the opposing Vanguard. No guard. Drive check. No trigger. Damage check. And it is a draw trigger for Dark States. Bad Steve gets plus 10k, a draw, but with that, Dragon Empire ends their turn. Now Dark States discards a vanilla grade 2 from the hand in order to ride into Anger Richard from the right deck. When placed on V, by moving 1 rearguard into the soul, the player may draw 1 card. Rearguards are called to the field, and Anger Richard attacks the opposing Vanguard. No guard. Drive check, no trigger. And damage check for Dragon Empire, no trigger as well. Now Isa attacks with a boost from Steve for a total of 18k. The Empire guards with 15k and turn over. Stand and draw. Now Trickstar is discarded from the hand to ride into grade 2 Blaze Maiden Ryu from the right deck. Reno skill. When she rides into Ryu, the player may search the deck for up to 1 Trickstar and call it to rear guard. Trickstar is called to the side, shuffle. Another Reno is called to rear guard, and now Ryu attacks the Vanguard. When Ryu attacks during the battle, it gets plus 2k, but it doesn't make a difference. Dark States guards with a heal trigger, making the attack impossible to pass. Drive check. No trigger, but it is Ballerina. Then with a boost from Trickstar, Reno attacks the Vanguard. Just like Ryu, when she attacks, she gets plus 2k to 10. No guard, damage check, over trigger at this moment. I am not sure if this would be considered lucky or not, but anyway, it is banished from the game, and then its player may draw 1 card, and Anger Richard gets plus 1 billion till the end of the turn. Turn over, stand and draw. Now, by discarding Dear Sentinel, Anger Richard will ride into grade 3 from the right deck. Diablos, Violence Bruce. Acrobat Presenter is called behind him, followed by another copy of Anger Richard to the side. Richard attacks the Vanguard. 5k block with Trickstar. Now Diablos Bruce attacks the Vanguard with a boost from Acrobat Presenter. Presenter skill. When this unit attacks or boosts, if your Vanguard is Diablos Bruce, Soul Charge 1. And fortunately, it is not a trigger. Bruce is now attacking for 21k. The Empire chooses not to block. Twin Drive. First check, a critical trigger. Of course, the critical is given to Bruce, the plus 10k to the side. Second check, and another double critical trigger. So Bruce gets another critical, and Riser gets a total of a 20k boost. Okay, Dark State's luck in this playtest match is too much. So Dragon Empire will now take 3 damage. First check, nothing. Second check, a front trigger, so at least the final attack will be easier to block. Final check, and it is a heal trigger. So 1 damage is healed, and Ryu gets a 20k boost. Now Iser goes for the attack, no guard, damage check, no trigger. Turnover, stand and draw. Things are not looking good for the Dragon Empire. The extra grade 3 will be discarded in order to ride into their ace, Chakrabarti Divine Dragon Nirvana from the right deck. When Ryu rides into Nirvana at the cost of Soul Blast 1, the player may search for 1 copy of Velrina from the deck. So ping Soul Blast 1, another copy of Velrina is added to the hand. Shuffle. Now the upper Trickstar will move forward and overdress. The second Velrina is called to rearguard as well. Now, Nirvana attacks the Vanguard, and its skill. On Vanguard, when this unit attacks at a cost of Counterblast 1, during this turn, all of your units with the Overdress ability and this unit get power plus 10k. So Counterblast! And the entire front row gets a plus 10k boost. No guard and Twin Drive. First check, it's a critical trigger. Looks like Dragon Empire's luck is not losing out either. Nirvana gets the critical, plus 10k to the lower Velrina. Second check, no trigger. With that, Dark States will take 2 damage. First check, no trigger. Second check, critical trigger. And the power, of course, goes to Bruce. Now with a boost from Reno, the upper Velrina will attack the Vanguard. When it attacks a Vanguard in the overdress state during the battle, it gets plus 10k. Furthermore, by paying Soul Blast 2, one of the opponent's rear guards can be retired. So paying 2 soul from the bottom of Nirvana, Anger Richard is burned. Dark State's guards with a critical trigger and an intercept from Iser for a total of 20k guard. Now the bottom Velrina attacks the Vanguard and Dark State's guards with another trigger. Turnover. Now stand and draw. At the start of the ride phase, Violence Bruce activates its skill. Its player enters Final Rush. And now, Persona Ride. When performing a Persona Ride, the player may draw 1 card and their entire front row gets plus 10k for the turn. Bad Steve is moved up, followed by a call of another Anger Richard. Now, while Bad Steve is on RC, if the player is in Final Rush, he gets plus 5k, and Anger Richard has the exact same effect. So both of them gain an additional power boost. First, Steve attacks the Vanguard. Betting on a trigger, Dragon Empire chooses not to guard. Damage check. But unfortunately, it is the order card, Sunburst Evolution. Richard does the same with the same power threshold, 15k guard. And now, Violence Bruce goes for the attack. Once again, Presenter gives a soul charge, but if the player is in a Final Rush, there's an additional charge for a total of 2. 1, 2. None of them were triggers. And now, Violence Bruce will activate its ultimate skill on Vanguard when this unit attacks. If you are in Final Rush, by paying a cost of Soul Blast 5, stand all of your front row rear guards. So by paying 5 cards from the Soul, Richard and Steve stand up. Even if Dragon Empire uses their Sentinel here, they don't have enough cards to block the remaining 2 attacks. So they have no choice. No guard. Twin Drive. First check, and it is a draw trigger for Dark States. 10k to Richard and draw. Second check, and it is a heal trigger. Unfortunately, they don't have enough damage to heal, but plus 10k to Steve. Dude, what is with the luck of Dark States today? But with that, final damage check for Dragon Empire. And it is... Oh, dude! Seriously? In my very first Vanguard playmatch video, we are getting a 6 damage heal trigger. And of course, the counterblasted damage is going to be healed and a plus 10k given to Nirvana. Will this be enough to survive though? Steve goes for the attack. He demands a 15k guard. Kanzen. Now Richard attacks as well with the same power threshold. 5k, 10k, and intercept. That's 15k, and Dragon Empire survives. Turnover. Still though, none of this changes the fact that Dragon Empire is in a very precarious situation. Stand and draw. Dragon Empire chooses to go for a Persona Ride as well. Drawing 1 card. Dude, seriously? And getting plus 10k for the entire front row. Dragon Empire calls both of their draw triggers to the field. Now first, a draw trigger will attack the Vanguard, 5k guard. And now Nirvana will attack, once again activating its skill to counterblast 1 for an additional plus 10k to Velrina and itself. It is now attacking for a total of 38k power. No guard. First check, it's a critical trigger, so Nirvana gets a crit and another plus 10k for Velrina. Second check, let's hope for a heal trigger here. But unfortunately, it is Velrina. 2 damage checks, nothing, and nothing. And I mean, that's only to be expected at this point, right? And now Velrina, in overdress state, will go for the final attack. It is now attacking for an insane 58k power. But unfortunately, no matter how strong of a card you have, it can simply be stopped with this. Kanzen Guard. Discarding Brother's Soul. And with that, turn over. Now stand and draw, and at the start of the ride phase, Violence Bruce enters Final Rush for what is most likely the final turn. First, Steve attacks the draw trigger, and then Richard will attack and destroy Velrina in overdress state. So both Velrina and the Trickstar under it are sent to the drop zone. And now, Violence Bruce with a boost from Presenter will go for the final rush. With Presenter's skill, once again, Soul Charge 2, not a trigger, not a trigger. And once again, for Soul Blast 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, exhausting his entire soul, Bruce will stand both of his rear guards. The power is 21k. No guard. First check, a heal trigger. Okay, I seriously have no idea what's going on with this Dark State starter deck today. Like, the whole pattern in which the cards are being soul charged is like perfectly fitting into the order of the triggers in the deck. But anyway, since they're at 5 damage, they can recover 1 card and plus 10k to Richard. Second check, no trigger. And here we go again, final damage check for Dragon Empire, but 3 heal triggers have been seen already, so the chances of the final one appearing now are pretty slim. Damage check. Wait! Guys, I swear, like literally, I think I have to put this out here now. I swear, I am not a religious person, but I will now swear to whatever god you believe in. I swear to Harmonix, Messiah, Bronze, and even Gize that I did nothing to stack these decks, alright? I just shuffled them in Tabletop Simulator. That's it, I swear. So now it acts kind of like a heal trigger, where it gets banished from the field. The player then draws 1 card, but most importantly, 1 unit on the field can now be selected and be given power plus 1 billion. So the trigger didn't even matter. There is nothing Dark States can do now to finish Dragon Empire off. Turn end, stand, and draw. This is not the greatest hand, but it'll have to do. Dragon Empire calls all of their rear guards to the field, performing another overdress of Velrina. And now, Nirvana attacks the Vanguard with a Counterblast 1, power plus 10k to itself, and Velrina. The total power is 28k. Dark States drops 30k guard, 2 triggers to pass. Twin Drive. First check, and it is a draw trigger. At this point, Dragon Empire has to rely on a miracle to turn the tables. So they take their 10k and place it on Nirvana. Draw from the draw trigger, and now, second check. And it is a front trigger! Power plus 10k to the entire front row. And with that, Nirvana's attack busts right through the shield and hits Bruce. Damage check. But it's a draw trigger on Dark State's side as well. So 10k to Bruce and another card in hand to use as protection. Dude, this is insane. Now Velrina attacks the Vanguard. Since it is an overdress, it gets another 10k for a total of 45k power, 2 heal triggers to block. And finally, Reno goes for the Vanguard. 25k, so it is just 5k to block. Turn over, stand and draw, and Bruce enters Final Rush for what will hopefully be the final time. Steve is pulled back and Time Fishering Fist Colossus is called in his place. When placed on RC, Soul Charge 1, and if you are in Final Rush, you may Counterblast 1 to give this unit plus 15k for the turn. So Soul Charge 1, and of course since Bruce is currently in Final Rush, Counterblast 1. Now the order card, Brother Soul. Soul Charge 2. 1 and 2. None of them are triggers. With that, another Steve is called, and both Steves get plus 5k for Final Rush as well as Richard. Now, Steve alone attacks the Vanguard, intercepts with Velrina. Colossus does the same with 28k. Kanzen Guard, discarding a draw trigger. But, here and now, Diablo's Violence Bruise goes for the final attack. Again, with Presenter skill, Soul Charge 2. And it looks like none of them are triggers again. And now that the soul is up to 5 cards, Soul Blast 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With that, both Richard and Colossus are put to the ready once more. Front trigger, 15k guard, 1 trigger to pass. Twin Drive, first check. And here it is, a front trigger. The entire front row gets a 10k boost, and Bruce now has enough power to punch right through the shield. Second check. Oh, double front trigger! Dude, there is something wrong with Dark States today. Nothing can stand in the way of the Diablos brothers. With that, Dragon Empire's shield is shattered, and Bruce's attack strikes Nirvana's heart. And for the third time this match, final damage check. No trigger. Inferno Sword Dragon. This long match ends with Dark State's victory. And I will see you guys in the next match featuring Kater's Sanctuary.